have a few knives to do today. That's what we're doing. And these are Calphalon knives, I believe. Calphalon. See if you can. There you go. You can probably see that. So we're going to go ahead and get going on these. I'm just going to check, make sure that my sound and everything is working. And it is. So we should be good. So let's get started. We're going to use the Cubitron P120 belt on our buck tool slow speed. And we'll just get to sharpening. And I have a feeling that these are probably going to go pretty quickly. These are giving me a burr on my first pass across. So we're going to be in pretty good shape with these. Okay, and then we have one serrated, which we'll hit that on our 600. Here's a serrated. So we're going to come across the back of this one and do this edge trailing. And it looks like we got a burr. Yep. So we got a burr all the way across. So should be good with that. Let's go ahead and find the edges on these other ones. Hey Jeff, how you doing? Hello Cindy. It is cold today here in Chicago. Last time I looked, it was like, I think 17 degrees outside. So we got the heat blasting in the garage. It's not super warm in here, but certainly it's tolerable. So I can't complain too much. I did order some new belts to try out. And those should be in probably next week sometime. So I'll probably do a long form video on those when I get them in. Okay, so we'll go over the leather wheel. A little bit of compound on here. I like using this white compound. Seems to do a better job than the green. It doesn't leave as much sticky compound sitting on the edge of the knife as the green does. A little easier to clean off. Hey Jeff, what area are you located in? I don't remember where you said you were. I know Mike had mentioned something about Connecticut. Are you in Connecticut? Dale in Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. Stanford Springs, Connecticut. Wow. Yeah, have you guys gotten this cold wave yet? Or is it still kind of nice by you? I'm sure what we're getting, you are going to. Seems like we always get it, and then it travels over to you guys. Of course, I think sometimes we're lucky and miss some of the storms. I don't know if you get nor'easters where you're at, but we don't get those very often. Storms like that anyway, obviously not nor'easters, but on the serrated, I'm just taking off the burr with the Scotch brush. Just running back and forth to get that burr out of there. And I can see when I go back and forth, I can see that burr when it pops up and flexes. And it takes a few times, but slowly but surely. And I think we got it all. Looks like it's all off now. Okay. So, yeah, we don't get lake effect very often on the Chicago side of the lake. Usually Michigan gets more of that than we do. Occasionally, if a storm rolls in just the right way, we can get one heck of a blizzard. But those only happen every, I think, maybe 7, 8, 10 years. Last big one we had, I think, was 2011. We had one that blew in just the right way. And we got all the snow. And then as the pressure system went by us, it double whacked us and grabbed everything from the lake and threw it on us. And we ended up with, I think it was like 22 inches. It was huge. And at that time, I was actually, had a truck and I snow plowed. I think I was out in my truck for about 48 hours straight trying to plow that stuff. That was not fun. By the time I finally got home, I was feeling sicker than a dog, and it was really just exhaustion more than anything else. It wasn't that I was actually sick. It was just totally exhausted. So now I watch all the other guys plow the snow. Got to be too much for me. And I said that was enough. But I did enjoy it when I did it. Well, Dale, if you contact me, we could do mail-in. And you could mail them to me and I could sharpen them for you. We'd have to figure that out and talk to you about it. Some of the guys are doing mail-in. I really haven't started that yet, but certainly not opposed to it. Of course, I'm guessing too that you're talking normal knives. Sometimes people contact me. I've done some machetes. I did one guy came in with a sword, and I did his sword. It was about 28 inches, something like that. And I went ahead and did the sword for him, and that came out pretty well. Okay, let's do some paper cutting. See what we got here. Liking that. You know, I think I finally, part of this is I finally got these angle guides dialed in just right. Because I've noticed the difference in the sharpness of the knives. I mean, they were sharp before, but now they just go through so easy. Let me try that again. Let me see if, oh, right there. Got a little bit of a catch. So most of the time it's just a little micro burr that didn't come off. Try that once more. See what we get. Yep, now we're good. Grab another sheet here. Okay. So last one is a serrated knife. So let's see how we did with that. Yeah, a little catchy. I think I'm going to hone this down just a little more. Oh yeah, now that I'm in the light, I'm seeing some burr still on there. I think what I'm going to do is grab my other one, so I can actually get into these serrations. These serrated knives can be a little tricky. See if that made any difference. Well, started good. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm happy with the very back. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, it's a little catchy, but I generally don't get the serrateds razor sharp. I suppose I could work on them and probably get them that way, but most people are not interested in having those razor sharp. They want them to cut, and the serrations do a lot of the work. So as long as we got a good edge on it, I can feel that edge. So we should be in good shape with that. So let's get some leftover burr. Yeah, and that happens. So I get actually more of that on the serrated than the other knives, but occasionally I do get them on even the regular knives, and that's part of the reason why, as long as I'm getting those on occasion, that's why I like to test them. I know some guys out there don't, and that's fine if they've been sharpening for some time and they know what they're doing and they've done it long enough. They know when they're getting them sharpened, when they're not. I still like to test mine just to be sure. I need to get some short knives in so I can use up some of these scraps. I'm getting a bunch of short ones like this, but I'm sure I'll run into one where I got a bunch of short ones. Hey guys, it'd be appreciated if you'd like the video and subscribe to the channel. Helps our business out down here. And we get all these put in our little container here. One of the ways that I keep the knives for the customers is in these little buckets. That's how I separate all the knives out, so I know who belongs to what. And then when I get a bunch of them, or like I got two of them that are kind of the same, they look the same, other than actually pulling them out and looking at the brand. The handles all look the same, so I write their name down on a little card and just throw it in there, just so I'm sure I get the right knives back to the right customer. So anyway, again, appreciate it if you like and subscribe. We will come back when we have more knives to do and do a live, and sometime here, I guess the next 4 or 5 days, I hope, we'll do a video on those new belts that I ordered. They're actually a competitor for the 3M belts, so they'll replace the Cubitron and the Trizac. So we'll see how they work. And okay, guys, I think that's it for this morning. We're all set, and hope you all stay warm if you're in a cold area. And I hope you all have a great day. We'll talk to you later.